Drum Corps International will be starting an all-new, all-age class for the 2024 competitive season. In DCI's 52-year history, members had to be 21 years of age or younger to be eligible to march, with the exception of 2021 due to the COVID season, and also if your birthday is after June 1st, you get that bonus year. But now anyone, regardless of their age, can get the full DCI experience, kind of. All-age corps, this is not a new thing. The Drum Corps Associate Circuit, this was founded in 1964 and allowed members of all ages to compete. The COVID season had a very negative impact on DCA, and sadly it is too hard to keep the circuit going anymore. But DCI has stepped in, and now we basically still have DCA, but now it's rebranded to DCI All-Age Class. My thoughts on this merger are almost unanimously positive, with a few concerns logistically, and we'll get into that in a second, but I am definitely glad that the all-age drum corps, they still have a place in the world. The thing with all age corps is that, at least in the past decade, most of the members in these corps were under the age of 22, so they were eligible to march DCI World Class or Open Class. For the sake of simplicity, I'm just going to refer to those two classes as junior corps for the rest of this video, but I'm not going to call the all-age class senior corps because, like I said, most of the people in them are underage. So for those of you who don't know, the major differences between the junior corps and the all-age corps is that the junior corps, they start with winter camps 1 to 2 times a month, then they move in and do spring training, and then go on tour for the rest of the summer. The all-age corps, they also do the winter camp thing 1 to 2 times a month, but then they only do weekends, so they start rehearsing every weekend, and then they have shows/rehearsals also only on the weekends. So this makes drum corps available to the people that can't just, uproot their whole life to go on tour. Now, the main problem with the weekend-only schedule is that all of the competitions, they have to be regional, right? You can't be traveling across the country to go to a competition and then be back the next day. That doesn't work. So the DCA circuit, that is based in the Northeast, so any of the corps that are not from this area, they will have a long travel time to get to any shows they do, which is a pretty big disadvantage because then you lose out on rehearsal time to travel longer. This is the list of all 13 all-age corps, and you can see Atlanta CV from Atlanta. That's a pretty long drive to get up to where most of the other corps are from. The Governaires also, that's pretty far away from everybody. There also used to be some all-age corps on the West Coast. The San Francisco Renegades comes to mind. I guess they just wouldn't ever compete against any other DCA corps until finals. They must have done some kind of exhibition shows, probably at DCI shows out on the West Coast. If you marched in the San Francisco Renegades, compose a comment and let me know what the heck you guys did all season. But now that all age is part of DCI, one of the biggest positive changes is that there will be more show opportunities for all of the all age corps, no matter where they are located. This won't solve the issue of corps that are far away from the Northeast. They still won't have any competitors from their all-age class, at least until more all-age corps are formed. I guess that is the goal of this whole thing. But there will at least be more chances for those corps to perform in a show and get judged and get more feedback. Another pretty big change from this merger is that finals for the all-age class, that will now be at Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis, rather than previously DCA, they had it in Rochester. This year, DCI Finals is on August 10th in 2024, which is a much shorter season for the all-age corps because their finals in Rochester used to be on Memorial Day weekend, which is in the beginning of September. So nearly an entire month of rehearsing and perfecting the show is lost because finals is earlier now. So maybe the all-age corps will just start their weekend rehearsals earlier in the season, or maybe they'll just, grind it out harder and get better faster. But I actually really like that the all-age corps season is ending earlier now. A large portion of the members in all-age corps are college students, so since DCA goes all the way up into September, this has conflicts with when school starts back up. Yeah, it's a real pain in the butt when you're worried about starting classes back up, moving into school. If you're doing marching band, you also have band camp and all that. And also on top of that, you got the all-age corps stuff going on. The peak of the season, finals coming up, you might have video assignments during the week, all that crap crap is going on at the same time. And I think it's a great thing that people don't have to worry about all of that all at once. You know, the season will end and then you go back to school. It's a nice little break from the craziness. Another positive thing about this change to finals being in Indianapolis is the members of the all-age core, they will get to watch all of the DCI world-class finalists, and I think that'll be a good experience for everyone. The only thing I'm worried about is that the all-age core finals, that is going to be on the morning right before the world-class. It starts at 10:30 according to the schedule. And this is also going to be going on at the same time as the Sound Sport International Music and Food Festival, so I'm just worried that there's going to be very, very few people actually in the stands watching the all-age core finals. Doing your final performance of the entire season for an audience of tens of people, dude, that would be so lame and such a letdown. I mean, I am really hoping that's not the case. Hopefully there'll be thousands of people filling out the whole stadium at 10:30 in the morning. I guess we'll have to wait and see what happens there. Probably my favorite thing about this merger is that DCI's individual and small ensemble, this will be making a comeback in 2024. This was another thing that COVID totally screwed up. 2019, that was the last season that DCI did their I&E contest. And since DCA had a gigantic I&E show every single year, that was like a big part of the culture, they are bringing it back. We're keeping it going. If you weren't already aware of this, I am a huge fan of I&E. I think it is a great thing. It is honestly one of the things that inspired me to march drum corps, just watching all these crazy tenor solos back in the day. And I am definitely excited that I can continue my series where I try to win as many gold medals in I&E as I can. Now, I haven't seen any official announcement about I&E from DCI this year, but it was announced at the DCA I&E contest last year that that would not be the last I&E, okay? This would continue into the future, hopefully forever. And according to that announcement, the I&E and mini-core contest would be at DCI Rochester, so that's where finals was forever, and that's where the contest will be again. Now, I thought this would be like a gigantic regional DCI show where almost every drum corps was there and there would be a huge turnout for I&E, but well, that doesn't appear to be what's gonna happen. Because there are 3 other shows on the same day of the Rochester show, and right now there's only 11 corps signed up for that Rochester show. 5 of those corps are junior and 6 of them are all age, and I'm also not sure if they're gonna have the soloist in the all age and junior corps compete against each other, or if they're gonna keep it in 2 separate categories. I'm kind of hoping they let us all compete against each other because I want as much competition as possible. We need 10, 15, 20 mega tenor players to come out and compete against me. I mentioned before how the main difference of junior corps and all-age corps is the schedules. You know, you got the all-age weekend warriors and then the junior corps, they go on tour. So I'm wondering how long it's going to be until one of these junior corps decides that they want to switch into the all-age class but still go on tour. So maybe there's a junior corps that is running low on their membership numbers and they can find some age outs that not only still have the chops to play but also want to go back on tour, and now they can, maybe. I actually don't know if that's allowed in the rules to just switch into a different class. I don't know, I didn't read the rule book. But there are definitely some age outs out there that would jump at the chance to march and go on tour again. Why are you zooming in on me? This is entirely hypothetical here, okay? Chill. I would be very curious to see if there was an all-age corps that wanted to go on tour and also had like a legitimate, you know, staff and design team. How many age outs would go and march that corps? Me personally, I probably would have marched a couple more years after I aged out in 2010 if that opportunity was available. And now, as a 34-year-old, I would definitely 100% absolutely not do it again. I mean, it was a great experience at the time, don't get me wrong, but I just don't want to deal with all the stuff that sucks about going on tour. Here is a list of all the things that suck about going on tour, and some of these reasons also apply to why I don't want to march an all-age corps either. But this brings up an interesting discussion, is should all of the classes, DCI World, DCI Open, and all age, should that all just be all age? I am honestly a fan of that idea. To me, 21 years old, that's like a weird age to just cut off the activity to someone. Oh, you're 22 now? That's too old to have any fun. There's a lot of potential DCI prospects out there under the age of 22 that just can't march because they have conflicts with, whatever, work or school or life or anything. And if you miss out before you turn 22, then sorry about you. Better luck next lifetime. And there is, of course, the financial aspect of the activity. It's about $5,000 to march a year in world class, and this is more than twice as much as it cost me to march world class back in 2010. To be honest, I don't know if I would have been able to march 3 years if that was the price of it. I probably would have had to take a year off and miss out a little bit. It's very unfortunate that some people who want to march DCI but can't afford it at that time in their life, they just can never do it. Like, they miss out forever on that chance. I don't know, to me it just makes sense to not put a cap on when you can stop marching, because there's a million reasons why someone might not be able to do it yet. And I really don't think that if there was no age out limit, I don't think there would be that many people that march in every corps that are over the age of 22. I mean, it's kind of impossible to predict how many people over the age of 21 would, not only want to go on tour for a whole summer, but also still have the chops and physical abilities to march in a world-class corps. But I'm going to try to make a prediction on that. My unscientific and completely unresearched estimate for how many members in a drum corps would be over the age of 21 would be something like 10 to 15 people aged 20 to 25, 3 to 5 people aged 26 to 29, and 1 to 2 people over the age of 30. So about 14 to 22 members over the age of 21 will make up the maximum 165 people allowed in the ensemble. Now, you might be thinking that adding these 22 or whatever people that are above the age of 22, that would take away those spots from the younger people, and, well, that's completely true. It would. However, in, a perfect world, those 22 people that didn't make it, they would go and fill out spots in other corps that did not max out their membership yet, which would be a huge positive for that. And since there is no age limit, it's not like those people missed out on their dream drum corps. Okay, there will always be the next year to try out again. So yeah, I am definitely on the everyone should be able to do it train, and I'm not saying it because I want to do it, because I don't. I just think anyone that did not get the experience of doing that before they turn 22, I think you should be allowed to have that experience. And I'm not the first person to think this, okay? Extending the age limit up, I believe 2 years ago they tried to move it up to 25 instead of 22, and that got turned down by the DCI Rules Congress, or whatever they're called. Maybe someday in the future this will change, but they will have my votes, if I'm allowed to vote on that. Compose a comment below with your thoughts on the DCI all-age class. Click on this video here to check out more drum corps stuff, and have a good morning.